Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of this box over here. We're going to be starting off with some detectives right now, so let's just jump into it. Up first is detective number 187. Hard to find book, tough to find DC, 50s DC, really cool two-face cover. I bought this book and a lot of others at a convention from a dealer that I'd never seen before, so it was great to just come in and scoop up a lot of cool books. Some other highlights from that dealer I think you'll see in this box: Green Lantern 7, Showcase. I did buy a Showcase 22 graded from him. I might have shown that in a previous CGC video. I know there's a Showcase 34 in here as well. Just some awesome books. You know, hardly anybody was looking at this guy's stuff, and I was one of the first guys there, and I grabbed a whole bunch of stuff. So sometimes you have great luck at shows, and this was one of the cool books that I was able to buy. Probably got a 10 to 20% discount on that price as well. Up next, another detective. This is the new series though, New 52, number 1. And we've got the Eternals, number 2. This is the first Celestials, I believe. But this book is also a 30-cent price variant. So I think I've had this book for a while, but then it became, more expensive because of the Celestials thing for first appearance, and then of course being a variant, it's worth more. This book is probably mid-grade range. I think I just saw a 6.0 go for close to $200, so I'm gonna hope to get around that much for this one. I was definitely happy that I held on to this one for as long as I did. After that, we've got a Fantastic Four 45. It's got some panels missing. I think I bought this one on eBay for cheap price. Unfortunately, when I checked it in, there were panels missing from the book, so I was able to get a partial refund on it. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of almost worthless to me now, so I told the seller I'm fine if you just want me to return it, but he gave me a very generous refund, partial refund. So that's that one. Up next, we have Fantastic Four Annual number 6. This book, I had no idea that it had gone up as much as it did. I probably have 4 or 5 copies of this. I've got one pretty high grade one, maybe an 8.0 or so. But I saw this one at a local comic store recently, picked it up for $40. I think VGs have been going for almost 200 as well, so great find there. Up next is Flash number 325. Part of the, I don't know if it's Professor Zoom or if it's the Reverse Flash, probably Reverse Flash that he's battling here. Then we have a Golden Age Flash with a friendly reminder to handle this book gently. As you can see around the edges, kind of a little bit brittle. So it's got a really cool Hawkman cover though, climbing up the beanstalk. Then we have Forever People number 1. Darkseid, of course. First real full appearance. Kind of a funny little Jack Kirby cover there. We've got some other ECs here. I went to another local comic store, and the owner had dug out a box that he hadn't seen in years. It had a lot of the miscellaneous EC titles like Frontline Combat, Panic, some other war one. I think it's in this box, but we'll get to it. Anyways, these were mid to slightly higher grade, so I wanted to pick them up. Some of these war covers are interesting. The next one's kind of interesting. I think it's got like a baby crying there, and yeah. Anyways, number 3, number 10. After that, I mentioned this book earlier, Green Lantern number 7 for Sinestro. Bought this from that one guy's collection. Great early Silver Age DC there. Then we have another Green Lantern number 59. First Guy Gardner. Here is Guardians of the Galaxy number 1. This is the variant, second printing variant. This is kind of like the new team. I forgot what year this one came out. Maybe 2011 or so. Maybe before that even. But yeah, it's a good book. And we've got a couple Hellblazers here. Here's number 1. And then a couple copies of 27. Good books. I'm trying to put together a full run of Hellblazer. I'm over halfway there. Then we have a couple more ECs. This is one of the titles that I was trying to think of. These came from the same local store. Impact number 2 and number 5. Boxing cover there. Up next is a couple of Hulks. Most of them are higher grade. Here's number 131. 340, the classic McFarlane cover with Wolverine. And a couple copies of 449, which I believe is the first Thunderbolts. Up next, we have a well-known book, Infinity Gauntlet number 1. This one's mid-grade, but, you know, after the movie came out and all the development from the movies, this book has gone up a lot in value. I remember, I think I've told this story before, but when I first got into collecting, maybe 2005 or so, when I would go to shows, I'd see hundreds of these Infinity Gauntlets, maybe not number 1s, but number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, for 25 cents a piece, you know, that you could buy all day. So I was fortunate enough to keep, I think, 5 or 6 copies of number 1. So getting rid of this one now, though. After that, we have a mid to higher grade copy of Iron Man number 1. It's a pretty solid book, just has a little bit of tanning on the inside. I didn't even know that I had this book. I was going through my collection. I'm going through another move again. So I'm trying to get organized, trying to redistribute my collection, figure things out, and found this one. So nice little find. I also found a number 55, which, let me show you guys that one. Here's number 54. I think it's the first Moondragon. This one's a pretty expensive book too. But I found this one a couple years ago. I think I made a video on it. I bought a whole bunch of high grade 55s, got great prices for them, sent them off to be graded. Unfortunately, they didn't quite get the grades I wanted. I think the highest one was like a 9.2. I was hoping to get at least one 9.4, 9.6. But I thought this might have been one that I had saved just for the heck of it, you know, to see where it would go value-wise. But while this one appears high grade, it has an issue on the centerfold where it's got a little bit of like chew along the spine. So unfortunately, it's probably only like a 4.0, 5.0 range, but it looks really beautiful. Up next is Jungle Action, featuring Black Panther number 5. This is the first Black Panther in this series. I think Jungle Action number 6 is the first Killmonger. I don't know if I've ever had one of those, actually. Anyways. Oh, here's another title I was trying to think of. Mad, of course. Again, came from the same collection, from that local store. Just high-grade copies of these books for a decent price. I'll buy those all day. Up next, we have miscellaneous Marvel stuff. Marvel Team Up number 1 and 141 with black suit, 2 of those. We've got a mid-grade copy of Marvel Spotlight 32 for Spider-Woman. We've got another black suit issue, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8. This is another one that could potentially be high grade. Just needs a little bit of a press to work itself out. I think we've got 2 or 3 copies of, 2 copies of Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 2. This is part of that Thanos long storyline. Captain Marvel, the Avengers. There's great Starlin stuff. We have a Miracle Man number 23. I've read this series at one point, but I'm not sure if I read the last few issues. I've forgotten most of it. It was interesting though. After that, we have New Mutants Annual number 2. This is a nice higher grade copy. Again, this is a book that I think I had in my, like $5 pile, but it's gone way up since. I put it away years and years ago. Yep. First, Psylocke, I think. We have New Teen Titans, #1. I remember buying this book back in, I think, early 2014. It's been through maybe 4 or 5 moves with me since then. And when I first bought it, I thought it was maybe like a 9.2 to 9.4. Now, I don't know if it's gotten more damage since my moves, but maybe a 9 or an 8.5. Just a great book, though. I might have bought a #2 from the same comic shop that I bought that one at. I don't know if I have that one anymore, though. There's a Nightwing #1, nothing special there, just a cool #1. Then we have first appearance of Lobo, a high-grade copy of the Omega Man #3. This one is not the reprint version either. We have an underground comic here, the People's Comics, #1. I believe this is a first print as well. And this looks like a Crumb cover to me, but I don't see his name written down. Maybe someone else can point it out, but just a nice little underground book in high-grade shape. There's Piracy. Love underwater covers. Mentioned that before. And again, this one came from the same local store collection. Here's a Punisher #1. Not the limited series version, the run of Punisher. Here's also a Punisher #1. This one is it's a rarer variant of, I don't know if it was the 2008 series or if it was later. It was around the time I stopped buying new comics. Around the Dark Reign, the Siege time, a little bit after Civil War. Anyways, just a rare kind of sketch cover variant. The Hero Initiative variant, I guess. After that, we've got Real Clue Crime. It's a tongue twister. Real Clue Crime Stories. There we go. Oops, my box just tipped over there. Yeah, so just a random 50s comic crime book. Let me pull these books back real fast. Okay. First up, again, we have Rick and Morty. I think this is the second print variant for #1. Yeah. Now, this book looks like a 9.2, 9.4, maybe even higher. But it's got this crease right here. There you go. Kind of see it. Doesn't break color, just a little bit of crease. Hoping to press that out. Yeah. Up next is Roly Poly. I think this one #10. I'm not certain, but I bought a collection a while ago that had, I don't know, 10 copies of this book. I've got a few left. I don't know if I've ever seen this book without this excess here. They did kind of a bad job when printing this book. Just has this huge overhang. After that, we have She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk #1. We've got another nice key issue here, Showcase #17, Adam Strange, and Showcase 34. It's a pretty solid copy, just has a little bit of a subscription crease. First appearance of Adam, I believe, or at least in the Silver Age. We have Showcase #55. Cool little Grundy cover there with Dr. Fate. Oh yeah, and this book and the previous one came from the same collection that I bought at that one show. Next up is a higher grade copy of Spectacular Spider-Man #64 with the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. I think they did a TV show about Cloak and Dagger, but I'd never watched it. Let me know if you guys have or if it's any good, and I'll check it out. Up next is couple modern Star Wars issues. This is from the Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir series. This was a 4-issue miniseries. It was very hard to find. So these books usually, each issue can go for, you know, $20-30. I know they've reprinted it now, so I think it's calmed down a little bit. But these are high grade copies, you know, hoping to sell them for $20-30 each, like I said. I actually found another one of these earlier today. So, yeah, good series. Check it out. Up next, we have Strange Adventures number 13. Just a cool early DC here. Captain Comet. And we're almost done here. We've got a handful of books, maybe 10 left. Here is Strange Tales number 138. It's escaping me what the significance of this issue is. It's a semi-key issue, 138. I think not until recent years has it become key though, so yeah. After that we have Strange Tales 178. Some more Starlin stuff, Warlock. Love the art here. I think I showed this book to one of my family members and they were just admiring Warlock's thighs, so I kind of laughed at that. Then we have 179. This might be the first appearance of Pip the Troll or whatever his name is. I need to read some of these. Then we have Submariner number 5, first Tiger Shark. Decent copy. We have a Submariner 35 featuring the Defenders here. We've got Superman 220 battling the Flash. Higher grade copy there. Number 233, the classic chain breaking cover. Maybe in this issue it's not weakened by kryptonite anymore. I don't know. I haven't read this one. Here's Swamp Thing 25. This might be it might be the first like sneak peek of Hellblazer, John Constantine. I'm not 100% sure though. After that, we've got a couple high grade Tales of Suspense books. Here's number 90, number 97 with Whiplash. And the last book of the day is Thanos Quest. Book number 1, first print. I think there are a few books after this, but they're in another box. So I'm just going to cut it off here. This has been a long video so far. Thanks for tuning in, you guys, and I will talk to you next time.